state your name for the record.
Officer John Dawson.
Mr. Dawson, would you please in detail recount the nights of January 2nd and the events that took place?
Yes, Miss Martin, I will. On the night of January 2nd, I responded to a domestic 911 call. I was the first officer to arrive on the scene. When I arrived, I found a young lady there lying, beaten half to death. 10 years on the force, and I have never seen anything like this. I mean, who could do such a thing?
Opinions aside, please stick to the facts of the event.
Like I said, she was beaten half to death. Lacerations all over her neck, face, and her body. Her eyes had swelled shut. I mean, blood everywhere. So I called for backup, and I waited there with her.
At what point did you call for backup? How much time had passed?
Couldn't have been no more than 5, maybe 10 minutes.
Well, which is it? Because we have here that you called, arrived at the scene of the crime at 11:05 p.m., and yet dispatch has you asking for backup at 11:25 p.m. A 20-minute discrepancy. Where did that time go?
10, 20 minutes. It was like a damn horror movie watching her lie there. I wasn't looking at no clock.
What happened after you called for backup?
Well, one of the neighbors tipped me off saying that the suspect went back into the house. I didn't want the suspect to get away, so I proceeded into the house.
So what you're telling me, Mr. Dawson, is that in an act of sheer intuition and poor judgment, you went after the suspect despite having no backup.
There wasn't any time. My backup hadn't arrived yet, and I didn't want the suspect to get away. So I proceeded with caution, using the necessary force and my training that I accumulated over the years for situations like this.
And you completely disregarded any protocol or direct orders to apprehend the suspect yourself.
No, I followed the right procedure. I pursued the suspect. I went into the house. I announced who I was. The suspect came at me with a knife, then fled through a nearby window. I fired twice, 2 shots to the back. The suspect dropped.
Knowing full and well you were supposed to wait for backup.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him get away? You didn't see this woman. What he did to her? I wasn't going to sit back and just let him
And what? Let him live and face due process? It is not in your line of duty to pass judgment, officer.
I followed procedure. I will proceed the exact same way again if I had to.
A suspect is dead instead of in custody, and there is a 20-minute discrepancy in our records. I can't help but wonder if there is intent in this pursuit. Personal intent.
What's that supposed to mean?
This doesn't bring back any memories for you, Mr. Dawson?
No,
We want to know the truth behind your actions, Mr. Dawson.
Erica, don't do this.
In fact, isn't it true, Mr. Dawson, that you yourself were subject to abuse
That
as
has
a
nothing to
child?
do with this, Erica.
Answer the question, John. Did you or did you not pursue the suspect because of your own personal ties to abuse and abandonment?
You are completely out of line, Erica. You have no right bringing that into this situation. I told you that in the privacy of our relationship. You have no right to use that against me.
I am doing my job, John. In the act of extreme emotional distress, a person may act outside their rationale, resulting in the direct disregard for protocol and order.
That's not what happened here, Erica, and you know it.
Did you or did you not murder this man in cold blood, John?
No! I would never kill anybody or anything, Erica, for God's sake!
You're lying.
Bullshit!
I know you. I know you, John. And I know when you're lying to me.
Oh, I see what's going on. This is about us. I mean, you really gonna bring our relationship into this? If I could, I would take it back. But we don't work good together, and you know this.
Strike that from the record. We're done here. You can talk to your attorney in the morning.